What cunning thief steals cherished gems out of one's very hand? Doubt, which is double pointed as regards spiritual practice. Okay, what cunning thief steals cherished gems out of one's very hand? Doubt, which is double pointed as regards spiritual practice. Okay, so when you think of the cherished gems as the Dharma teachings and the methods to practice, yeah, we've heard teachings, we have books, we have everything we need, it's all in our hand, and doubt comes and grabs it away and takes it like this. Okay? How does doubt do that? By not having confidence and faith in the process of the path. Okay? And so, if we don't have confidence in the process of what we're doing, then we're not going to do it. We're going to hem and hoe and this and that. It's like any kind of endeavor, that you undertake to do. If you don't think it's going to take you where you want to go, then you're not going to get on. Like you don't go to the train station and well, I don't know which way, I'm not sure if this is the right train to take me where I want to go, but I'll get on it anyway. No, people won't do that. They'll just stand there until they know which train to take. Yeah. So, but if our Dharma practice is like that, because we haven't thought things through clearly and doubt keeps coming to plague us, then we never engage in the practice. We just stand there. Yeah. So that would be like somebody having the correct information on what train to get on, but standing on the platform and going, well, I don't know if this is really the correct information. Maybe this train doesn't really go there. Maybe it goes somewhere else. And so as a result, you don't get on. So the same thing happens with spiritual practice. Yeah, we may hear teachings and so on, but unless we have confidence that they're going to work and the path is something viable and it's going to take us where we want to go, then we don't practice. Yeah? And so that is the thief of doubt stealing the gems out of our hand. Okay? So it's interesting, to watch our mind and to see when doubt comes up. And also especially to learn to differentiate between doubt and curiosity, doubt and questioning, okay? Because we're really encouraged to question. I mean, we have to encourage, especially, Aryadeva has been really saying, you've got to understand the teachings and you've got to question. And His Holiness always saying you have to use reason. We don't just use blind belief and say, well, it sounds good, sure. Because then who knows what in the world we're going to wind up following. Okay? So we need that process of learning and investigating and using reasoning and checking and everything. Yeah? But what doubt is you've done that, but maybe you haven't done it so well. Yeah? Or maybe you haven't really spent the time thinking about the reasonings, and so the mind is still quite confused. Sometimes it's because we have in our mind old preconceptions from very long ago that really torment us. Maybe you grew up, let's say, in a very theistic family, and even though the idea of emptiness sounds fantastic, and you think about it and it makes sense and karma makes sense to you, somehow you can't really believe that meditating on emptiness is going to get rid of your ignorance, because in the back of your head you were conditioned for a long time that it's God who's going to take care of everything. And so you have to come back and use reasoning and say, is it possible for this kind of God to exist and to take care of everything and free me? Okay? So the doubt comes up very often because of old stuff that we haven't really investigated enough to clear away. Yeah. So we really have to do that. Yeah. So we're walking the line between, we want a faith and confidence that is based on reasoning, but that isn't so stuck on reasoning that we have to be able to explain every tiny detail before we do anything, because otherwise, again, we won't do anything. But in the process of developing confidence and trust in the Dharma, we don't want to go to the extreme of blind faith that, well, yeah, somebody else said it who's a Buddhist, therefore I believe, because that doesn't work either. So we need a mind that has curiosity, that asks questions, wants to think and wants to examine, okay, but that also is still willing, based on what we already know, to go ahead, instead of saying, I have to understand absolutely everything forever before I do anything. Okay, you getting what I mean? Yeah? Because the doubt is, you've heard me say this before, it's like a two-pointed needle. Yeah? You start to go this way, but the other point's sticking there and you can't go, and you start to go that way, and so you wind up not doing anything, and then, except poking yourselves with both sides of the needles, which certainly isn't very productive. Yeah, so it's very important to learn to recognize doubt when it arises in our mind, because if we don't, it's very easy for us to confuse doubt with, the process of, I really want to understand, okay? Yeah, and so, you can tell doubt because there's a certain flavor in the mind when there's doubt, yeah, and it's just, you're really kind of going towards skepticism, there's some kind of, because doubt is an affliction, so there's some kind of uneasy feeling when it's in our mind, whereas when there's interest and curiosity and we don't understand everything yet, then there's some kind of eagerness and enthusiasm to learn. Whereas with doubt, it's, well, I don't know. Okay, and that doesn't get us anywhere. Okay? So sometimes when doubt comes in the mind, you have to see, is it interest, and I really need to sit and, look up the answers to something or ask questions and think about it? Or is this just doubt coming up as an affliction to kind of, bug me and torment me and make me immobile? Yeah, and to be able to see the difference. And if it's doubt coming up in the latter way, then you just have to say, I'm not listening to it. Yeah, and to really think about the disadvantages of doubt. Yeah, so you're saying in some ways we're applying a double standard, that things that we learned about before, maybe about God or science or who knows what, we just take unexamined because somebody who we respect as an authority said it, and we've never applied reasoning, and so we just, our default is, yeah, somebody said that, I believe. Then when we come to Buddhism, we start using reasoning. And of course, not everything is totally clear when we start using reasoning. But we never think, I should use this reasoning on what I have blind faith in. Yeah, good point. Yeah, so then we default to, I'll believe it if I can see it, which is another kind of doubt, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so this is a good tip in how to differentiate them, that the afflictive doubt makes us worry and makes us lose energy, and the questioning, interested, I want to learn kind of doubt gives us a lot of enthusiasm.